Hello and welcome to another session of Let's Learn German. I hope you revised the contents of the previous session. In this session, we are going to do noun, or in German they are called Nomen. You are already familiar with them, but in today's session we would learn more about them. As you know, in German there are three gender, which are masculine, feminine and neutral, which are in singular, and they are marked by their respective articles. So, the masculine gender is marked by the article der, the feminine gender is marked by the article die, and the neutral gender is marked by the article das. And here we have some examples and with which you are familiar. For example, nouns like Mann, computer, they carry the article der Mann, der computer, etc., etc. Now, look at these nouns. They are, you are familiar with this word die Frau, die Tafel. Now, these nouns carry the definite article die, which is the feminine. Now, we have das Auto, das Haus. So, these nouns carry the neutral article, which is das. As I told you, in German language it is very important to know the article of each noun. So, here we have some rules to learn how to understand the article of any noun in a much better manner. So, here we have some rules on how to identify the nouns based on their endings, and thus with this you can learn also whether the given noun is the masculine noun, the feminine noun or the neutral noun. Now, here look at the endings of certain nouns in the masculine category. They are ismus, ink or or. Now, as you can see, this small mark which actually shows that the noun, the complete noun is attached to this ending to make it into a composite verb, to make it into a composite word. For example, this word realismus actually contains the ending ismus, or in German as it called esmus. So, this word now belongs to the masculine category, and therefore, the article would be der Realismus. In the same way, this noun will carry the article der because of the ending which belongs to the masculine category. And here we have words motor, factor, which carry the ending or here, as you can see. So, any nouns ending with these endings always carry the masculine article. Now, moving towards the category of feminine nouns. Here, as you can see, there are quite a few options or quite a few endings. For example, words ending with ung or nouns ending with het, keit, schaft, ion, eiur. All the nouns which end with these words are fall under the feminine category. So, the article for these nouns would be die Rechnung, die Freiheit, die Höflichkeit, die Freundschaft, die Nation, die Option, die Bäckerei, die Kultur. As you can see, in the feminine gender category, there are many endings compared to masculine, or now when we see the neutral gender. The neutral gender is relatively easy because it contains only two categories here, the category chen or lein. So, nouns like Mädchen or Büchlein, they carry the definite article das, which is the neutral marker. Now, here if you look, nouns which end with these endings always belong to their respective gender. However, certain nouns which carry certain other endings mostly belong to the gender which are given here. However, I would like to tell you that there could be some exceptions also. For example, here we have nouns like coffer, computer, which end with AR, AR here as you can see, or ER. So, nouns which end with AR usually belong to the masculine gender. However, there are exceptions to this rule. In the same way, nouns like Lampe, Blume, Tasche, they all end with A as you can see, or with E. So, nouns usually which end with A or E belong to the feminine category. However, there are also exceptions to this rule. And now, moving towards the neutral gender, here we have two endings. So, the words like centrum or instrument, they carry the ending here for centrum um or and for instrument ment or ment. They usually belong to the neutral gender. However, there are also exceptions. So, whenever you are making any noun or learning any noun, please remember to learn it with the respective article there, the or das, and with these rules which are mentioned here, it would be easier for you to distinguish whether the noun belongs to the masculine gender, feminine gender or the neutral gender, and therefore, you can easily give them the article which belongs to the respective category. Now, a student would do some exercises where the student would write the articles of the nouns. Now, and then we would see if the answers are right or wrong. Now let us look at the answers given by the student and let us see if the answers are according to the rules which we learnt for the nouns. Here we have many nouns, and as you can see, for each noun I have marked the ending. And as I told you, all the nouns can be categorized into masculine, feminine or neutral based on the ending. However, there are also exceptions to these rules. So let us see if all the rules are correct here or not, and if the articles are also right or wrong. Let us look at this noun, die Liebe, which means the love. Now here the student has written the article die, which is correct because the noun carries the ending a or e. Busfahrer, bus driver. The student has written the article there, which is correct because of the ending er, which is mostly the case for masculine nouns. Here let us look at this word, the rose, which means the rose. Now here, as you can see, it is the ending e or a, just like the noun Liebe, where also the ending is a. So the answer here is also correct with the correct article die. Mutter. Now let us look at this ending ar. You will say the article is correct here, der Mutter, because the ending is ar or er as per the rule. However, this is an exception. The student has written a wrong answer. The right answer is die Mutter, which means mother. Now, as I told you, not always all the endings follow the same rule, and there could be exceptions. Well, here you can see this is one exception. Let us look at this noun, Schnee, which means snow, and you will look at the ending and you will say yes, it is a or e. So the article is right, die, because in the previous examples Liebe and Rose, the ending were e or a. So the correct article was written die. So the same rule applies here. However, this answer is also wrong. This is an exception where the correct article is there. So as you can see, this also follows an exception. Let us look at this noun, terror, or as you know the English word terror. Here the ending is or. As we know, the ending or denotes that the noun belongs to the masculine gender, and here the student has written the correct article there. Now let us look at this noun, Einsamkeit, which means loneliness. As you know, the noun ending with kite are always feminine, so the student has written the right answer, die. Now let us look at the noun argument, and it is same as in English, argument. And if you look at the ending ment or ment, which denotes the neutral gender, and the student has written the right answer, which is the article das. Now let us look at this noun, Situation, as it is called in German, and the same in English, situation. And if you look at the ending ion, which marks the feminine gender, which is the article die. The same rule applies to the other noun, religion or religion, which also carries the same ending like the previous noun. So the article here is also die. And if you see the ending of this noun, monument, similar to English, das monument, because of the ending ment, the same way like the noun argument, which is das or das. Now let us look at this noun Gesellschaft, which means society. Now, if you look at the ending shaft, this denotes that this word belongs to the feminine gender, and so the student has written the right answer by writing the article die. And if you look at this noun Achtung, which means to be careful, here, as you know, the ending is ung, which shows that the noun belongs to the feminine gender, which is die. Now, let us look at this noun Eigenschaft, which means quality. Now, as you know, this word ending with shaft makes it a feminine noun with, and you know that the article for the feminine noun is the, so the student has given here also the right answer. Moving to this word Tor. Now, the word Tor means a goal in football, and here, as you know, the word Tor has got the ending or, which makes it a masculine noun, and the article for the masculine gender is there. So, the answer is also right. Now, we have a word litter, which you are familiar with, and here the ending is ar, and as you know, mostly nouns which end with ar are masculine, and here the student has written the correct article there. However, as you have seen in this exercise, another word which ends with ar carries the article the. So, whenever you learn any nouns with which end with ar, make sure that you are learning them with a correct article. So, it could be a das or a the or there. Now, let us look at this noun Ruhe, which means silence. Now, this noun carries the ending a or e, which we know makes it the feminine noun. So, here we have the feminine article the, which is the right answer. Now, let us look at this word element, which is the ending ment, and as you know, any noun ending with ment carries the article das because it belongs to the neutral gender category. So, the answer is also right. Now, here we have the last word Schönheit, which means beauty. Now, as you know, the ending heit or het makes it into the feminine gender category. So, this noun carries the article the. So, the answer is also right. So, as we can see, our student did a very good job by writing the articles of the nouns looking at the ending. However, there were two mistakes which could happen to any learner. So, don't worry about it, and as I told you, continue to learn nouns with their correct article. So, in today's session, we learnt about nouns in German language. We learnt that nouns in German language are categorized into masculine, feminine or neutral, and they carry the article der, the, das, where der belongs to the masculine gender, the belongs to the feminine gender, and das belongs to the neutral gender. Remember that these nouns are all in the singular category. We also learnt that with the endings of all the nouns, we can distinguish whether the noun belongs to the masculine gender, the feminine gender, and the neutral gender. Also, we learnt that there are certain rules with which we can definitely distinguish a noun based on its gender. However, there are also exceptions. Also, we did an exercise where the student wrote the article and we could find out that there were two mistakes which were because of the rules problem. So, as you know that one has to look at the noun and the ending very carefully while writing the correct article. So, as I always say, auf Wiedersehen, tschüss.